Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leora and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to this extremely hard video, because today I'm going to try to rank my Norvina palettes, all 5 of them, and I have them right in front of me and they look at me like, you're to blame, you're to blame. Because the second I think like, okay, this is better, then the other one screams at me and says, no, I'm better and you should know that. So yeah, welcome to my channel, because this is colors speak to me. Ta-da! Yeah, so anyway, I am very much into colorful styling and also colorful makeup, as you might be able to see. And if that is something that you have been looking for all your life, then please check out, of course, my channel and my social media so you can form an opinion, and of course subscribe to my channel, because I would love it if you would hang out with me and just be on this journey with me. Sometimes it's kind of, you know, right now this is horrible for me. It is horrible for me because, as you might know if you have been with me for a while, when I have to rank, it almost kills me, because I love my makeup, you know. And then even like if I rank within one brand or within one branch of a brand, like those Norvina palettes from ABH, I feel like this is so hard, because how can you judge? How can you judge? I mean, first of all, this is only according to my taste, but also my taste has changed in the last half year, you know. So what am I doing? You know what I mean? You see the dilemma. Yeah, so anyway, I have to maybe preface this by saying that I love the performance of all of them. I do not remember any of those Norvina palettes not performing good or something, you know, but some of them are of course already older, because I bought them on launch. And I have to say that also in that time span since the first one launched, which I believe was this one. Let me just go through them and show you. This, I believe, was the first one, Norvina 1 on. Back then it was just Norvina, I think. That was the first one, and when I bought this is now, I think, almost 2 years. Could that be? I think it's almost 2 years, and of course my experience with working with makeup and all of that has changed. So I believe that even though back then even I didn't think it was like hard to work with or anything, I think now I would enjoy it even more, you know. Then right after that they came out with this one. Yeah, this is the Norvina 2. So let's just go through them so you know what I'm talking about, in case you're not familiar with those palettes. They came out super fast, and I thought that was a shame, because I think they would have had a much better place to shine, or even time to shine on their own for what they are, if they wouldn't have been pushed out so fast. I know there was like some leaking and some this and drama and whatever. Never mind all that, but if the world would be perfect, I think they should have been spread out more. And then the third one was this one, which also came out. I think they came out within maybe 3 months or 4 months, you know. And I think if there would have been half a year in between them, or even a year, would have been so much better, you know. So anyway, that is the third one. And then we have the fourth one, which was, I always thought that this is a neutral one. It's not really. I mean, for most people this is not. Maybe for most, I don't know. For me it is kind of neutral, because it's the softest one, let's put it that way. It does have a lot of neutrals, but overall it has a very soft vibe. So this was the Norvina 4. And then the last one that you also just saw recently featured here in a first impression video on my channel was this one. And this one is of course like the freshest in my mind, where I just think like, whoa, this was spectacular. So it kind of feels like this is not fair, because this is of course in an advantage, because it's the freshest, you know, the one that I have worked with most recently. Okay, now let me just open those again, because I was going back and forth, because all of them have something where I say, wow, this is so cool, and I could absolutely love this. Okay, so I'm just building up the whole thing in front of me again. I want to say, you know, because we basically have 2 purple palettes here, and that was the Norvina 1 and then of course the Norvina 5. So let me just try to hold them up next to each other for you. So this is the Norvina 5 and this is the Norvina 1. Okay, both. Hi. Both claim to be purple palettes, right? So both of them have something really something going for them. This one here, the Norvina one, has the super big benefit of having red and purple. Red and purple is a magic mix. If you are bold enough and brave enough, courageous enough for that, it is beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful mix, and you can also have, if you want to, you can have a bit of a deeper but neutral option in this palette, but you need to be kind of bolder for this palette. This one here, I feel, is the more true to its name purple palette, the Norvina 5. You do have more neutral shades, but they are not really your neutrals. They have a big characteristic of like red wine and shades like this. So it feels like, together with the purples, and of course there are also some neutrals and some mauve shades, but overall I think this palette is way easier to work with and just a little bit more cohesive in that sense. Now, does that mean that I love this more? It is really hard for me to say. I think this was spectacular, and I loved that this palette can go super soft and dreamy, and it can also go really bold. And I also really love these kinds of shades that give you a kind of neutral look, but it is not really, you know. If you combine shades like this, the neutrals and this, it's so beautiful. This is so well done. This is so well done. Now it depends what I'm thinking of where I want to place this look, you know, because there are days in my life where I definitely need a palette like the Norvina 5, but then there are days where I just completely feel this one, you know. Also that there's of course the blue in there, and blue and purple is also amazing, and there is more dimension in this palette. So it all of course depends on what you look for. Okay, so now let us also maybe bring in the Norvina 2, which was the more blue and green one, which it's also so beautiful. Wait, I have to hold it on this side. It's just easier for me. Okay, so this is again how she looks, and I think while this one feels a little bit more all over the place color scheme wise, it is just so me, because basically I am all over the place most of the time, you know what I mean? So, but still, you can also have not maybe soft looks, not maybe super neutral looks here, but you can go lighter with those lighter shades here if you want, you know. But I don't think you buy a palette like that if you want to have a majority of soft looks. You know, it's not gonna really happen with a palette like this, like not on a regular basis. But anyway, still in a lot of ways, this is probably my number one, you know, and I'm kind of really surprised. Maybe you saw that in my face now, that I was actually surprised that that came out of my mouth, because I was very much leaning to the Norvina 5 and then the Norvina 1 and then this one, but I kind of feel like this is the number one, you know, because it just gives me the most variety. The most variety. Is it the easiest to work with? No. Is that something I judge my makeup for, that it has to be easy to work with? I like it if it is, but it doesn't have to be, you know, because I just use my makeup and I work till it's done, you know. So it is not really a consideration for me that it has to be like super easy to work with, even though I prefer that, of course, because I don't want to have a makeup application of 3 hours, right? But anyway, I would put this at place 1. Go figure. I didn't know. I didn't see that one coming. Okay, now I think though second place is going to be the Norvina 5. Because I loved the looks that I created with this. Let me just hold it in the camera again, because it's so pretty. And I love this because it is so extremely cohesive. Also, this has just such a range of things that you can do. And the longer I look at it, the more I fall in love with this palette. And also, if you swatch it, look for the swatch picture also on Instagram, on my Leorah-Cosmetics Instagram, or watch the video, my video that I made with this palette, because I also show you swatches there. It's swatched phenomenally, and the shades, when you see them on your skin, it is just breathtaking, you know. So I love this palette so much. So I think I'm going to put this one at number 2. Okay, so now it gets, honestly, for the next two, it gets really, really hard. I think we can all agree that this one is going to be spot 5. This is the Norvina 4. And that is just because, yes, it is the most neutral, the most soft. There's nothing wrong with that. I have days where I absolutely appreciate that and also need that. Not only because there are occasions that call for a softer look or a more sophisticated look, because obviously this is not really sophisticated by any standards, right? It's fun and it's everything, but it's maybe not the most sophisticated. So sometimes I need more sophisticated looks, and then a palette like this can be super, super helpful. Is this something that I'm drawn to more than, let's say, twice a month? No, you know? So that's why I think I can pretty safely put this in number 5. Okay, so basically now we just have to this is like so crazy because I'm going back and forth between the different places. I think I'm melting. Okay, so now we basically have a space. Does one say space? 4 and 3. Number 4 and 3, I don't know, left. So it is basically between the Norvina 1 and the Norvina 3. Okay, so let's hold them up again and see what we can do. Wow, this is really, really live, you know. One should think that I should have thought about this more before. Okay, I think I know. I think I know because I just saw myself between those two in the viewfinder, and I think this is going to be a number 3, because also this adds such a nice range of things, you know. Of course you do have the greens, you also do have the reds. It's not the easiest to work with, these color schemes, you know. The second you have a mixture of green and red, which is opposite the color wheel, it is hard to do looks that look properly done with shades like this, you know. If you combine them in one look, of course you don't have to. You can also go safe and have the green and yellow together, and then the yellow and the orange and the red in a different look, and then of course you also do have a nice range of warm neutrals. So this is of course a super, super nice traditional fall themed palette, and I think this is also super, super nice. Yeah, and also with those mauve shades here, or like purplish leaning shades, dark fuchsia, whatever it may be. I think this is also a super, super nice palette, and that is also because it does not lean like super, super dark. I think this would also be a palette that is easier to work with for a broader spectrum of people, because again, this one here, the Norvina 1, is pretty deep, you know, and that might be intimidating for a lot of people because there's not a lot of light shades, and if you're not used to blending out super, super dark shades with just your bone color matte or whatever fits your skin tone, then that might be scary for you, you know. Also for me personally, I usually go in with the darkest shade first. Also, for example, today I did not use any of these palettes. You'll find it of course in the description box what I used today, but I only went in with the darkest shade and then blended out towards the top, and that's basically what I did, you know. So I'm very, very comfortable with that because I do that on a regular basis. I think though that a lot of people, especially when you're new into colorful makeup or something, then it might be a little bit intimidating, and this palette could be a little bit intimidating. While I personally feel it is a very beautiful palette, especially because it gives you this mix of pink and red is also amazing together, by the way, because you also do have pink here, and of course this red, it is not a super, super bright fire engine red. It is a little bit more cold leaning, so, but that is also really, really nice with the cold purples, you know. So purple and red is an amazing, amazing magical combination. Just take my word on this one. And of course also with the blue, the purple and blue, it's just, it's beautiful. But all of this, most of this color scheme is really, really dark, so you got to be comfortable wearing those colors and applying those colors. But again, if you are a private person and you're not reviewing your palette on YouTube, you can always pull in, I don't know, a ColourPop palette where you have a lighter blue to blend out the darker blue, right? I personally cannot do that because I just can't, because I want to review the palette for what it is. But you can by all means do that. So anyway, so now let's put them in order. This is how they are. wow, that was a surprise. I didn't think that this one would come out on top. I was so sure that the Norvina 5 would be on top, but I kind of feel like, you know, the cool tones and stuff, I think this is really, really nice. Plus, also, when you kind of mix the pink with the blue, you can also kind of create your own purples, you know. So I think there is so much more in this palette than you even see. And I think regarding that, the whole variety and my personal taste, of course, I think this is super well done. Plus also that here in this palette you do have, I think, a better executed range between light and dark than in the Norvina one, you know. So anyway, I think this is my number one. So yeah, sweeties, do any of you have all of those I think a lot of you have all of those palettes. So maybe you can share down in the comments what your opinion is, which one you vibe with the most. I also really vibe with the last one so much. It's just such a beautiful palette. Honestly, it is super hard to rank. So hard. It is really like trying to decide who is your favorite child and how can you know? But at the end of the day, it is just makeup. You know, while makeup is super important to me, as you know, it is just makeup, so it's not on the level of children. So let's put it into perspective. All right, sweeties, so I hope you did enjoy this, and in case you did not ever try those palettes, then maybe you got an idea of what to go for and what my reasons are why I like this one or that one. And it's not like I dislike one like extremely or something. It really boils down to personal taste. It also boils down to the occasion. It boils down to my mood also. And as I already said in the beginning of the video, that also my personal taste has changed so much, you know. Like a year ago I could not tolerate any oranges, and I basically just bought which one? This palette, the Norvina 3, because I'm a collector, you know. I did not intend to use these orange tones because the whole last year I could not tolerate oranges because everybody did it, you know. And yeah, and now I'm getting back into it, you know. I also feel like my eye color pops so nice when I'm wearing orange shades, so just saying. Anyway, sweeties, let me know what you think. What is your number one? What is your last place? You know, I would really be interested to know. Besides that, of course, you will find all my discount codes that I have with the different brands in the description box down below. If you use them, thank you so much for your support. If you choose not to use them, you have my blessing. That is also fine. Besides that, of course, my makeup will also be, of course, listed in the description box, and also my links to social media, so you can check out what else I've been up to. And of course, if you're new here and you have not done so yet, then please subscribe before leaving, because that would be awesome. And let's just hang out and have a good time here. All right, sweeties, I shall see you here next time for my next video. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.